So what is a fascia adhesion? Well, this fascia that holds everything together can sometimes get bundled up and stuck. Ideally, when we're children, all of these fascia bands are gliding over each other with this moisture between it called hyaluronic acid. And when it's all working properly, we feel spring-loaded, free in the body, and are barely ever sore. We can fall and we're not even injured. However, as we age, as we experience injury, sometimes these fascia bands have to heal up and they start to dense. And because we don't condition them, they end up creating little folds and pockets within the system. And then we train on top of these. This is what I believe starts to pull the joints out of place and allows us to have different wear and tear on one side of our body compared to the other. Now, because they're layered on top of each other, sometimes we'll think that we got rid of this fascia knot because the first layer of it is gone. However, deep within the tissue, that old injury is still crinkled up. And then as we train on top of that, this starts to become buried or pull our joints out of alignment a little bit. So fascia adhesion looks like this. This is the knot in the system. This is what we want to return back to this. Nice, fluid, and it looks like honey. In the Tai Chi literature, they said that the body should feel like honey within it, not crunchy with little knots and nodules. When we start going through the conditioning, you're going to feel a range of feelings of this. Depending on how that feeling is, you're going to be able to tell how long that's been in the system for. So as we move this structure back to this structure, we have to follow a set of rules so that we don't create any more injury or bruising around it. Now, these adhesions are caused from a few different things. Dehydration with movement. Fascia has become stuck or immobile. So for those of you that never do lateral hip exercises, that joint is going to just move linearly and then get stuck and caked on the outside. Repeated movements over and over that are unbalanced. Think of a marathon runner only training linearly. Trauma and scarring. So trauma allows that fascia tension to increase. Think of when your stress levels get really high and your body starts to tighten. This can also create systemic fascia adhesions through the body in different ways. And then anytime we're cut, anytime we've ripped the skin open, you can actually see the collagen, that's the scar tissue that builds up there. And the fascia has to heal when we scar and we cut. So it stitches itself back together, but once that laceration is healed, we want to recondition it so that everything doesn't start to get tight in that spider web. Let's get started.